What happened? I don't know. It's just a fun start. Six Flags Over Georgia.
It's a park I think I went into with quite low expectations.
Exactly. So did I. And it surprised me.
I loved it.
I loved Over Georgia.
It just was so much fun.
I know, exactly. This is the
operations
thing.
were not great. A lot of it was on a single train. Things that didn't make sense to be on two trains was on two trains one day. The following day, it went onto one train and it was busier.
We were discussing that. Some parks we just went for more than a day kind of get boring. Over Georgia wasn't. It was supposed to be because there are not a lot of rides that you say, oh, I really want to lap this. What happened? I don't know. It's just a fun start.
The thing is, with Over Georgia, none of the rides are going to be in your top 10.
Yes.
None of them. They got the weakest RMC that I've probably ever done.
Oh, yes, for sure.
But I enjoyed it. It has got my favourite B&M Hyper, but we'll get back to that. But everything about it just was fun.
It
had layers. It was terrain.
Exactly.
And the thing could go up and down.
I like the layout. It's a big park. It's not a park that you're going to just like walk around and that's it. You saw the whole park. We stayed multiple days there. So we had a lot to see.
Just walk around and just take in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
We didn't have to take things as a rush. I just had a very good time. I like the atmosphere. The only thing I wish it could improve is the operations.
Yes, especially for a one day in a park. If it's a busy day, it's kind of hard to get everything done.
We didn't spend 3 whole days in the park. We had like a few hours here and a few hours there because we did duck off and went to another RMC one day. We have just come from Air Force One.
The opening of Air Force One.
And when we went back for another night, just to make sure it was that good.
It was.
That's the thing. We could duck in and out of Over Georgia, I found, and that's what made it quite nice because our hotel was literally just outside the front. So they've got a few hotels walking distance. I swear it was closer to the front gate than some parking spaces.
Yes, exactly.
So that was perfect for us. And it meant that we could drink without having to worry about driving or getting an Uber. And that, I think, was a really good part of the experience.
Yes.
Because one night they had a special event on, or throughout the whole week.
They did a really random event on all Six Flags Park on April. Was a spring break. Really random to do
like Halloween
a Halloween event
April.
in April. But I'm so glad they did because
we had some beers, we had a laugh.
They had 2 mazes. I wasn't scared at all. I'm pretty sure I scared the most with my life. I think this is part of why we thought that Over Georgia was so much fun. Of course, the event was a part of that. We know that the event was not only for Over Georgia, but this is where we went to.
And I think because we went in with incredibly low expectations for that event as well. Not every coaster is open.
I mean, it's not the best maze. It's not the best Halloween event, but it was fun. Yeah, exactly. So only 2 mazes.
And you had to get a wristband.
I mean, actually, one of the mazes were good.
Yeah.
They were actually really good. It was kind of a long maze. I was pretty scared, but I'm always...
But the big warning and the big thing where they were getting in trouble is you had to go and get a wristband earlier in the day. So that's what we had to do, is go and get a wristband because we have our season passes. And then that's how we managed to get entrance with our season passes that night. But it was not very clear that you had to do that.
Yeah.
So that was the only sort of critique about it. But it was very quiet. So we got multiple rides. And our last ride...
Okay, let's talk about the ride.
Everyone says Batman at Over Georgia is the most intense Batman.
I'm not a big fan of inverted coasters. I really enjoy that. So this is how you know how good it is.
It was crazy.
It is.
You could feel it. I don't think it was a placebo effect. I genuinely think it was.
No, we went multiple times. Like we said, we stayed there for 3 days. We did multiple times during the day, during the night.
And of course, with Screen Break, that's why we're like, okay, last ride of the night, what are we going to do? And we had to choose Batman after it was warmed up for so long. It really was an awesome night ride. I enjoyed that one. The most intense Batman in the world.
Superman, the original Superman flying coaster. Better than the other Superman because it is the terrain coasters. Whereas the other ones just feels like it was plopped on a plot of land. Whereas this was felt like it was designed to be where it is. And it features the world's first pretzel loop, which is probably the best inversion on the flying coaster.
It's the best element on the flying coaster.
Your first stand-up coaster, Georgia Scorcher?
Finally, I went on the stand-up coaster. I didn't really love that for the first time, but eventually we keep doing it again and again. It's really fun if you know when to jump.
Yeah, it was the jumping that made it fun. And I think that's why I like Pipeline, because it's kind of fixed to the jumping elements of Georgia Scorcher.
Exactly.
But I still find Georgia Scorcher, it was a bit of fun.
It is. It's good having it at the park, like a different type of coaster that you can ride there.
The other B&M, Goliath, which is the B&M Hyper.
Best ride in the park.
So if you know about me, I'm not a massive B&M Hyper fan, but this just had some weird ejector air that threw you out in the sea.
They don't stay for you at all. We had so much room there. It was the first time I was almost scared. I thought I was gonna fly.
Please, can you push that down slightly?
Yeah. Also, they let you re-ride without leaving the station, which is amazing.
Yep.
I love when parks do that. And the ride itself is good.
Like, we've just done Nitro, and again, that's got no comparison to Goliath to me.
Agree.
Just because Goliath had this ejector moment that I love the more.
The Helix is really good as well.
The Helix was good.
When we were there, the Great American Scream Machine, it was celebrating the 50-year anniversary. It celebrated that on the day Air Force One opened. And we were all at Air Force One while that was celebrating the 50-year anniversary. It just felt strange. We went there the day after the 50-year anniversary, because it was shut anyway that day. And there was nothing really about it. It was just like a little sign.
Yeah, but it's a classic wooden coaster.
I like it. I didn't think it was rough or anything.
It wasn't.
I think it looks the part. I think the colours are amazing.
Daredevil Dive. It's a gas out Eurofighter. We don't really need to say more than that. It is what it is. Nothing special.
The Riddler, Mindbender.
Yeah, it's classic Schwarzkopf. It's a very strange layout the way it goes in the ground with the terrain.
RMC. Yeah, Twisted Crosses. Twisted. Oh, fuck's sake! Can't handle these Six Flags names. Mystic River, Twisted, Cyclone, Tornado,
King's Island Dominion.
I'm at Great Adventure, Great America.
Batman clone. Goliath.
What Batman clone you on? Goliath? No. By the way, Twisted Cyclone.
Yes, Twisted Cyclone.
It was the weakest RMC I've done by quite a long way. It's very, very short.
There are some good parts that way.
The wave turn's good. I like the inversion up, the inversion down. It's fun.
Acrophobia, the drop tower, I really like it. So it's like a spinning drop tower.
It was the same model of the one at Move Park Germany, Highfall. I quite like that model by Intamin. I feel like on the shoulders, I feel more like I could slip out, which is what gives me more fear with it.
Let's talk about the worst thing he did there and the worst cue we had. Now you know.
We almost missed one credit. Was the shitty credit, the Joker.
It was down the first 2 days, was it? And then on the third day.
The whole third day until like the last hour that we were there. So we spent the last hour in the queue. The boat ride. It's a boat ride with Six Flags teaming.
Yeah.
But for a Six Flags, it's actually cool. With
the monsters. So it was a Monster Mansion. And monsters all just doing random stuff. You've got to check that out if you go there because it's unique for Six Flags Georgia. But overall, I thought the park was really clean. The rides were fun. Atmosphere was great.
It's worth visiting, especially with Air Force One so close to the park. Just plan a trip there, do both parks. It's just so worth it.
And Air Force One's open till I think 10 o'clock. So
you can
do that
go
on the
over
same
Georgia
day.
and then go to a fun spot later.
It's just worked out perfect. But I really enjoyed my time there.